Hi, I'm Christine. I asked some people what's a color that you would wear more of if you had a better understanding of how to choose it, and quite a few of them said orange. So that's our topic for today. Traditional orange, like melon or citrus, looks especially great on 2 of the 12 groups of natural coloring, bright and true spring. I think, though, that orange is a statement color, meaning it's really noticeable on just about everybody. And like every color, orange has a lot of different versions, and we want to make sure that our choice is attention-getting in a good way. Nobody should be left out of color trends just because, it's not your season, it's not allowed. What we want is to understand how to choose the version of the color that's going to help us and our clothes look great and be clothing choices that we wear for many years to come. And we also want to know when and why to let a color trend go by and wait for the next one. In many of our videos, we talk about the impressions people make when they wear a color well and not so well. In this Your Best Whatever Color series, we're just focusing on the color. I don't know if the people in these pictures are these seasons, and I really could never know that from photographs anyway. And if you're not sure why not, please ask me in the comments. We're also going to look at some versions of orange that I don't think really flatter anybody very well, even though computers or textile dyes are capable of making them. And that's also something that can happen with any color. Starting with the warmer types of coloring in this panel, autumn and spring. There were 3 kinds of autumns, there were 3 kinds of springs, and these are not divided for type, just giving a general impression of how they're different. So spring is on the left. This is what I mean by standard orange, at least the lower 2. The color in a crayon box of basic colors. You see light, medium, and dark variations. Color doesn't get very dark. That's true for the 3 springs with orange. And it's bright. You see yellow in it. You see daffodil, you see dandelion, you see your standard spring sunshine beaming out of it like you would find in a child's drawing. On the right, autumn colors, softer, means they're not as bright. Earthy, which means soft or muted, plus orange. They go darker than the spring colors. And you don't see yellow beaming out of them so much as gold. Lion, not dandelion. Rust, not citrus. Notice that all of these spring and autumn oranges contain some red, and I think that matters for orange to look natural and belonging in outfits and with people, and even more true in cosmetics, where orange is how red exists in warmer types of coloring. Let me show you what I mean. I think these oranges are just hard for anyone to wear. What would we call them? Saffron orange? They're like highlighters or road signs. It's like neon orange, some kind of textile pigment, attention-getting, but not to the advantage of the wearer. Maybe a detail in a color block print or an accessory that could look modern, could look provocative, the way that small areas of fluorescent color can, but even in a nail polish, I think it would be a lot for the morning meeting with the team. On the left, woman is in the background, the dress is in the foreground. The dress makes a high energy impression on its own, but that's not what I'm looking for in clothes. I'm not looking to be left behind my clothing. In the center, the woman is darker in her hair and in her cosmetics, and possibly that meets or balances the orange better, but look around her jawline, look around her mouth. It's glowing back orange, which usually means it's not the version of the color that lives in her. If she walked into a party, I would see more competition than cooperation going on here. On the right, same things, glowing back around the neck and the jaw. You might see colors like this in the spring palettes, but this is more intense. It's more aggressive in a way. I love the tiger colors. Dark autumn would wear this easily. The tigress theme so works for them. Dark autumn, that's the autumn colored person blended with a little bit of winter colors. You can see that the light areas are not very light. And the darker orange in the dress, that's the warmer side of the reds for this season. They also have cooler reds, kind of burgundy reds. The light orange, you can sense that's not a pastel. Right? It's not an Easter eggy kind of color. Gives a more solid impression. You wouldn't slide this into a rainbow. You would sense that something was off. It would look strange. Would be like autumn light or late afternoon light all of a sudden appearing in the middle of the day. The world doesn't work that way, and you'd know it right away. It wouldn't look real. You might ask, well, why would I care about looking real? Well, now that's a really good question. And that's one that everybody answers for themselves. How do you measure success? How do you know when you give the impression in your appearance that you want to give? Well, for me, one of them is I want to look real. True Autumn could wear this pretty well too. Overall effect is not very dark. And it helps here that the darkest color isn't black. The boots are black, and you can see the dark stripe in the dress softer than that. It's grayer than that and warmer than that. It's more like the model's hair. This would be the darkness ceiling for True Autumn, but in small areas divided up in a print, I think it could work really well. The coat might be Soft Autumn, might be True Autumn, and it might just look softer because it's next to that very bright dress. Either one of them would wear it well. What about the dress? Dark Autumn or bright spring in that shiny textile, especially bright spring if they had colors like that in the hair or in the eyes, and many of them do. They may have red in the hair, they may have cider colored eyes or a rust colored spoke in a turquoise eye. This is a nice way, I think, to use colors from other seasons, is wearing different versions of the same color. Because your eye can figure out why they're together. One of them might not be perfect for the person on its own, but it makes sense together. And what's happening here is you're using colors that have some things in common. These are similar darkness level. They are similar warmth level. So right away they have a relationship. It's not like she closed her eyes and, pulled a dress out of her closet. It's a lot more intentional than that. Same idea as wearing your eye color, even if it's not identical. It's a super interesting color, earthy orange. Some might call it yellow, some might call it red. Both together make orange. Some people might call it brown, which is dark orange. There is such a range of this color in the warm seasons that actually here it's acting as a basic in a wardrobe. Whether or not you'd call it neutral, well, that's up to you. I might in the sense that you could wear it with anything in a True Autumn palette, but it does have more visibility, let's say, than khaki might. If anyone would wear their oranges as neutrals, though, it would be the autumns or some of their oranges. A soft autumn color, lighter side. So soft autumn, the autumn colored person with a bit of summer in the mix. And could call this a clay pink. Few things to notice. Soft means not a lot of color pigment. The orange in the accessory she's holding, that's a lot of color pigment. That's a very pure orange. You don't have any dusty softness coming from gray in that orange. It's called bright. The bouquet orange goes with white pretty well in that accessory, but it doesn't really go so well with the dress. They just did not grow on the same tree. I think sometimes runway styling, it has a certain shock value, but to me it's disruptive. I like a kind of seamless look. The person and everything they wear and their makeup and their hair color, same brightness setting, same warm cool setting, same light dark setting or range. My eyes are just more relaxed so they can appreciate the colors better. Soft autumn again, a little bit darker. I always think of that terracotta flower pot color when I think of soft autumn, the sunny front step and then the geraniums growing out of this ceramic pot. Still summer in the mix, still cooling and softening, as much pink as it is orange, and this will be the warm side. It's not going to get a whole lot more orange than this. It's earthy, being autumn. You would not see this color, let's say, in a fruit salad. It's more of an adobe color. Fruit salad orange is spring, citrus, melon, that's all spring. I love this as a blush and a lip color for soft autumn. It's healthy, it's vibrant. When the color's already in your face, you don't have to be really careful about how you apply it. This is the blush color Ease on my website, and you can buy cosmetics chosen specifically for each of the 12 seasons. Oh, the exclamation mark in the top left-hand corner is there to remind me to tell you that this is an item in current retail, and so I will put the link in the description. We're moving now from autumn to spring, both warm types of colors. That's the thing they have in common. Before we get to specific seasons, though, in the interest of adapting trends well in our favor for trends like orange that can be kind of challenging. Earlier we saw saffron oranges, but if we were to tone it down, would that work? Who would wear it? So on the left, I think True Spring could wear that. And if you're thinking, well, True Autumn has oranges like that, I'd agree. True Autumn would have very similar colors to True Spring because they're both warm. Not sure this would go with every color in the closet, the palette for either season, depending on what you think looks good in an outfit. But orange isn't expected to be a neutral on anyone. I think it would make some great outfits, say in True Spring with the neutrals, the browns, the blues, the yellows, and it would make great outfits in True Autumn with the browns again, and also I could see it with the really rich olives. On the right, Light Spring, same effect. It's very yellow, but they do have a very yellow orange that looks really great. And this is softer and sweeter than those earlier saffron oranges. You'd recognize this in Apricot Cream. Where I think this is very pretty, what it makes me think of is a shimmery sunrise sky color. Linen, light cotton, maybe a smaller area too, then it doesn't have to be the entire dress. I could see it just fine. I think trends are made for customizing. They almost ask to be improved from the out-of-the-box version. Let's go ahead and look at the springs. This is True Spring. Necktie, warmed by yellow. You don't see Autumn's darker gold in there. It's a little lollipop. It's a little bit candy, kind of a peachy orange, and gorgeous in this slightly shiny satin. Tropical feeling for sure. You would see this color in the daytime, not at night. And as noticeable as orange is, black and white would be cold and sharp with it. It's sweeter and warmer and softer than winter, which is going to balance black and white no problem. Light Spring. On the left, the Queen, wearing blushed apricot, makes you think of spring blossoms. It's more natural and more wearable than the spring that we saw earlier, the two side by side. Bit of pink makes for beautiful blush lipstick, and I think it's a lot more wearable and flattering as clothing as well. Similar to the blush color Unsung that you would find on my website for Light Spring. Great with the hat too. Yellow beige straw in the hat works with spring better than, let's say, Autumn's tan or camel wood. On the right, brighter yellow. Belt even more so, say Light Spring moving up to True Spring. More density of pigment just by being leather too. I think the leather belt is going to be True Spring. Similar to the tie that we just saw. This is an easy laid back orange, natural, but it's not rustic. You don't get any kind of log cabin effect going on here. Might appear childlike on people who are not this coloring, but on springs, it's as fresh and honest as being yourself. There is nothing artificial or contrived or staged looking about it. This is bright spring, spring mixed with winter. Both seasons with pure pigment, pure color. The colors are clear and bright. There's no soft or dusty, but they're not neon either. And they come in all kinds of textiles. It doesn't all have to be shiny. Distinct red orange, right? A fantastic lipstick. Whether the eyes are blue or green or brown in this season. Beautiful golden zippers set off the dress, like built-in jewelry. I'm a big fan of built-in jewelry. The shoes, though, what about the shoes? They could have more energy, more color pigment. Maybe an idea in dressing that if one thing is bright, then everything else should be soft to balance. So it could be the dress and the shoes, like here. Could be the person and their clothing. Soft person should wear bright clothing, or vice versa. I do not see that myself. I find that the same setting, person and their clothing all the way through looks way better. Summer, third group of seasons we're going to look at today. As pink as it is orange, if not more so. Light summer's in the top row. On the warm side, a soft cantaloupe on the left. And then on the right, coral, but it's a cool, soft coral. And that's the cooler side, let's say, of the orange range for a light summer. True summer, barely any warmth here. This is a purely cool season. You don't look at those pinks and see yellow or gold. Or you might say, well, wait a minute, I can see a little bit of yellow in that. No, I agree with you, I can too. Just like we all have blood and we all have therefore red, so do we all have some kind of yellow, even the cool seasons. The more important thing is what kind of yellow compared to which other season. So look at the pink up in light summer over on the right-hand side, and then compare that to the two pinks in the true summer row. You can see it's yellower than true summer. Soft summer getting into clay pinks again, kind of like we saw in soft autumn, a little bit bluer. Still soft, meaning that heathered grayed color. Incredibly sophisticated, this color as cosmetics. Very gorgeous for a soft summer woman. Let's look at some examples. Over on the left, the warm pink, that's light summer orange in the spiral shape of the t-shirt. The white shorts are kind of sharp. They're dulling that t-shirt. Again, they're just drawing attention to themselves. Switch out the shorts for the color of the wall behind her. The look would settle down and all the parts of her outfit and the woman would come together, would unite better, wouldn't look quite so broken up. And then on the right, Duchess Kate. Coat is great, the warm pink again. Dress, not sure, but it works in the outfit. Another example, wearing two similar colors even if they're not the same season. True summer. Pastel pink coral, if you like. A cool season, nothing you'd call orange here. And if I may say, there's no real way to be flexible about it because there's so little warmth in these colors and in the person's colors to make any kind of sense of orange. And so you may be thinking, well, why are summer colors cool? Like, who made that rule? Where'd that come from? Why all the blue? Is this something that was invented to classify fashion? Well, if you think about how light arrives on Earth in the summertime, northern hemisphere calendar, sun's overhead. So the light has a shorter distance to travel. It's more of a direct path to Earth. More blue wavelengths get through the atmosphere. So why is the color soft? What's that got to do with it? Because the air is warm in the summertime and it holds more water. So the light scatters and bounces off all of the water molecules and it creates this hazy effect. And you're like, well, how's this going to help me buy clothes? And it doesn't. I'm just saying that there's a reason for the season and what looks right with certain types of coloring of people and what colors look right together. On the right, true summer, again, cinnamon rose. Could you go with that? They do have their gorgeousness and a lot of it, but it is not really orange. They got a version of cool brown, brown being dark orange. They got a cool soft khaki too, but hardware store guy, he'd probably call them both gray. They can be hard to find. You can see a few examples in the Pinterest boards. You can also buy fabric kits called neutral sets in the shop on my website where you get a piece of fabric to go shopping with. So there you have this instant comparison that you can take with you. Soft summer on the left. This is the color I mean as pink coffee or a color like this. Less earthy than soft autumn's clay pinks. It's bluer, still very soft, lots of gray wash through the color. These dresses are in current retail, by the way, so I'll put the links in if you want to follow them. The silver beading, it's just so beautiful. You could picture a sweater with silver jewelry, just as easily. The overlay, the sheer overlay in the skirt lightens the color. The beading darkens the color. So there's this gorgeous flow through versions of the same color, a visual effect that summers excel in. And then on the right, cool rust. Rusty rose, it's not that orange, rosewood maybe. If orange is dark brown, summers have cinnamon and cool cocoa browns, more soft wine, let's say, than orange toned, as you can see in this dress. Now we're on to the three winters. Two of them have a little warmth, traditional warmth. Dark winter was going to have orange as dark coral. We're going to see that in a minute. And bright winter has the clear red orange like, let's say, golden strawberry. Winters also manage the synthetic oranges because their colors are so saturated and pure in the first place that they can make sense of these bright and maybe slightly artificial colors and effects. In this panel, we see synthetic orange, and whether you think that it looks good with the other colors in the combination, the black and white, the royal blue, well, that's up to you. There's a brightness level here that would overwhelm the warm seasons. They may have more natural oranges than this. And so the orange, what do I think about that orange? I don't see it as a turtleneck, but a print, an accessory, I get it. Bright orange combinations with navy blue, pomegranate juice. I think it looks really good. I also think it looks really good with the winter neutrals of white, black, and the steel grays. How would a true winter make use of orange in a way that was flattering? Well, with white. With a white jacket like this, the white blazer, I get what she's doing. I like how she's placed the orange, the pants, the scarf. She's doing white plus bright. It's a terrific look for winter. The orange, it's a color that challenges the rules. It challenges the status quo. So it's kind of fun seeing it used that way. It's a synthetic orange. I'm not sure this color necessarily exists in humans, but some types of coloring can make good outfits. Bright Spring could do this too with their version of white. And then the scarf ties the look together in an interesting way. The pants are far from the face, so they're not going to turn the face orange. And in the scarf, she's only got little bits of orange using the other colors in the outfit. So it creates an integrated appearance. It's provocative in a good way. The brightness of that orange, the only seasons who are going to wear that orange well and still be visible, the person be visible, is going to be a winter, probably true winter or bright winter. On anyone else, it would be literally the only thing you can see. And even this woman, dark hair, possibly olive skin coloring, the orange was the first place my eyes went. I love fuchsia and orange together. A clue that a color is winter is that it looks really great with black and white. These colors have the same level of brightness, so they can make some sense of one another. Picture the top with soft terracotta pants or the pastel colored pants. It just wouldn't work as well. They need that level of brightness to make sense with the top. Like our last woman, she's put the orange in the lower part of the outfit, and she's put a blouse that is much closer to her more flattering colors, her cosmetic colors and so on, near the face. Bright winter. Saturated, pure color, more red than orange. Kind of like bright strawberry is what I always think of. This is bright winter and a beautiful dress. Very natural looking effect. It's easy, the warm red, bright strawberry. The shine is easy for many people in this season because their natural colors can reflect light in a similar way. Being jewel tones, jewel effects in clothing and in cosmetics make sense. Vintage effects don't make so much sense. For winters, the key to orange is to add enough red. She's not turning orange. Her face has good contours, beautiful with the hair, and the black shoes are a good choice because it completes the look with the dress and with the woman. So the head and the shoes look like two ends of the same ruler. Bright winter, again, maraschino red pants. Now here she's put the top in the upper half. Synthetic effect orange. But the parts go together and she's controlling them. It's one thing with orange in the upper half. The skin and the teeth take on an orange cast, and that is happening here. But we get the point of the outfit. We know what she's doing. Purse has enough color to say something. It's fine. It's part of the look. Better say than if the purse were the color of the door behind her. You need that crayon candy effect to pull the entire look together, and on her it works pretty well. Dark winter. We're going to look at a couple of these. First one, dark winter, doing a synthetic effect. Dark winter is looking for bright color in all of their colors with a little touch of harvest at the same time. So if you picture the pumpkin patch, small areas of these colors in prints and in accessories can look good. It's like a synthetic or earthy, intense pumpkin. Under the face, the skin and the teeth are going to look orange, but you don't have to put it right under the face. And the shirt in smaller areas could pick up some amazing colors in the eyes and hair for dark winter. Makeup would help. So would being under 30. As a lining, a stripe, a button, a color in a shoe, it's really fantastic and modern and can make decent sense with dark winter colors. Like this is pretty good with the black or brown skirt. And then we see dark winter doing a more natural or wearable version of orange. This is the dark coral that I talk about a lot for dark winter. How much do I love this color? Similar versions in the top and pants, adapting to winter in the top by being more red, more color concentration. Shine adds a subtle highlight without being satin. or super shiny. The leather adds a little bit of sheen, and it also adds a bit of that log cabin rustic effect of autumn by the density of the leather and the color itself. On the bottom, the pants, dark autumn probably. They're warmer. They're more orange rust. The top might be more of a purple rust. Fine together because they share more than they differ. Neighbor season. Put the one that best suits you, your level of warmth, near your face. I hope that you enjoyed our look at different oranges for the 12 seasons. Please let me know if this format for learning about a color is helpful to you, or if you have any suggestions. I would love to hear them so that I can continue helping you understand how to choose your very best version of your colors. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.